A panel of scientists assembled by the United Nations released a report on the dangers posed by a potential 2 degrees Celsius increase in global temperatures. The report warns that storm intensities, wildfires, even pest outbreaks will increase, which could contribute to the food shortages across parts of Africa, the Amazon.
There were about 40 streets that were flooded.
This is some of the things that we have to deal with even on a regular rainy day.
Coving Street literally is submerged underwater. This rain is relentless.
Each degree of warming will make the impacts worse.
On Monday, the stance against offshore drilling off of the South Carolina coast became even stronger.
Climate crisis.
Climate crisis.
Climate crisis.
Pentacle. What is a pentacle? The pentacle has been a powerful and positive symbol for many different religions through history. There are several meanings for a pentacle, but one of them is that the 5 points of the star represent the 5 elements. Spirit is the top one, and moving in clockwise direction is water, fire, earth, and air. The pentacle is my inspiration to make a change. In my life, it represents that every single part of this planet is part of me. Right now, I am going to Furman University to ask some people about what do they think about pollution and what do they do normally to pollute less. On the way, I have seen a lot of trash in the road.
I think we've
we've reduced pollution in this country, which over the past many decades, but I think we still have a long way to go. We're still polluting too much.
Yeah.
We're still emitting too many fossil fuels and too much carbon dioxide. So we still have a long way to go.
I think that it is definitely a problem our society helped to basically create, and now we have to work together to stop it.
Disastrous will kill us all eventually. So we have to do something about it.
It stinks.
Yeah.
What do you, in what respect?
Like, what is your, I don't know, when someone tells you pollution, what do you think about? What do you feel?
Garbage.
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 I think it's something we should be working on, and hopefully we will continue working on that.
So I think the first thing is I drive a car that gets better gas mileage, because I think that's the easiest way to reduce, fossil fuel use. And I recycle and kind of conscientious about, not polluting at all and using less single-use plastics and stuff like that. Yeah.
I definitely try to not use a lot of styrofoam or any, single-use plastics, of course, and be mindful of what I am doing and how that would impact the environment.
Well, recycle, obviously. We recycle just about everything. Ourselves, we try to lower our carbon emissions. We still drive a car. We are debating whether to get what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the Prius.
Prius, yes. Something, again, that would lower the carbon. And that's about it, really.
Do you think...
Recycle and stuff like that.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Is it something that you normally think about, or is just like... You just
do it. I just do it.
Okay. Well, that's
you gotta do it. It's all plastic.
Well, I recycle paper, aluminum. We regularly recycle and, use the bins that the sanitation departments provided.
Walking around the campus, there was barely trash in the floor. There was a plastic in the lake which could be dangerous for the dogs and other animals living in it. It seems like students and other people in this institution try to keep it clean and are aware of climate change. Sadly, not everyone thinks and acts the same way. One of the biggest causes of land pollution is the large amount of plastics. Billions of tons of plastic have been made over the past decades, and much of it's becoming trash and litter. Plastics production began just 6 decades ago and has accelerated so rapidly that it has created 8.3 million metric tons. Plastic takes more than 400 years to degrade, so most of it still exists in some form. Today, an average person can produce over 1,600 pounds of trash per year. But where does all of this waste goes? Today, I am going to Greenville County Solid Waste Division to find out.
So the portion that doesn't get diverted from landfill goes into the landfill. We get about 1,500 tons a day of waste material that comes through here. And it comes in two forms: from our residents that come up front, and we have a little transfer station there where they drop it off, and then we bring it up to the face. And then our bigger commercial haulers, as you probably see, the trucks that go through your neighborhood, they collect it up. Those are collection vehicles, and those we take up to the front of our landfill. So you can see out here, see the flame coming up there? That's our flare, and it's flaring off the methane gas that's being generated from all the garbage. Garbage here, it creates a gas called methane, and there's some projects in the ways that we make. So this is this landfill right here when it was first brought online, and the road that you came in is right about here, this is that big mound landfill out here. But you can see that you have to construct the landfill, and you have to build it. You need to put a liner underneath here, which I can show in this next drawing here, which is a plastic kind of HDPE liner. And you can see this being on. After the dirt is constructed in a certain cell-like formation, they put this liner on. And this is what it starts to look like when we start to get some of the waste on it. And we push this around, and you can see here where we have the liner. So many years ago, landfills used to be people burn it in their trash in a barrel, or there would be a landfill and you just dump your truck here. There would be no liner. Your waste, nobody really cared about it that much. They didn't think about what happens, in your groundwater underneath there. So it just went through there. Gas went into the air. Leachate, which is the we call garbage juice, which comes out of the garbage, it would just go into the groundwater, and people didn't care. There were some regulations promulgated called Subtitle D through the federal government in, I think it was the 1980s. And in Subtitle D, they required you to put a liner in your landfill, so stop it from getting into the groundwater. This is part of the liner here that they build it on at least 2 feet of clay. And this the term down there, that shows the density. It means it has to be compacted to a density so things don't go through it. So when you see 1 times 10 to the minus 5th centimeters per second, that means how much liquid could come through there. So that's not letting much at all. That's a really small number. And then this very little layer here is the HDPE liner that we have. It's called, a GCL liner. Above that, so on the other side of the liner, as I was trying to talk before, is we have these leachate pipes, and that again is that garbage juice pipe. And so when we above here, when we have the sand, but when we have this garbage here, and let's say it's a bunch of food waste and liquid comes to the waste, it's got to first go through 2 feet of sand, and then it's got a membrane here, but then it gets into the pipes underneath and it gets sucked out before it gets into this groundwater, and then you have this heavy duty plastic liner. This is what is on the liner here that goes above this leachate collection system, above the sand, and of course above your garbage. So it's really important to have something like this. You can see it's really heavy duty. And so it doesn't let the liquid get through here. It makes the liquid come back up and go through this pipe, and then you pipe it off to where it needs to go to. And what we do right here with our leachate currently is that we collect it in 2 very large tanks, and we have trucks come by, and they haul out about 6 loads a day to REWA, which is our local wastewater treatment plant. Okay.
What's the benefits of having this, having a landfill?
Okay. The benefits of having a landfill is that if we didn't, people would just dump things on their own land. They dump things on the side roads. There are people that still do that, illegal dumping, and there's sites around. You can see as you drive through the county, you'll still see piles of garbage here and there. But as we have these landfills here, it allows folks to bring in their garbage instead of dumping on the side of the road. If you're a Greenville County resident, we accept most of your waste here for either free or a low cost. So it really gets it out of the communities. And so what I was explaining before here, how that things can leach out of the material and get into the groundwater and cause groundwater pollution. You don't know, people throw things away as oil. You can never tell what somebody's going to do there. And if it gets into your groundwater and you're drinking it, you may not see it in your water, it's still clear, but there could be something in there that is not good for you. And so by bringing it to a landfill that we have here, you have this whole system. It's all set up with a liner, a place for the water to go, and goes in the right place, and it gets taken care of. So that's the benefit of having a landfill. So you don't have it spread out everywhere, and the pollution can get in anybody's groundwater.
What happens when like this landfill is just like full?
It's full. Okay, it's full. What happens is that when a landfill is full, what we do is we close it, and what we do there is that we put another layer of this on the top of this clay.
Okay.
And we put on another layer of this like this that they put on there, and then on the top, and they can put a soil, and they put a grass on the top. What happens over time is the landfill starts drying out, and we don't have the issues with the groundwater problem. It dries out. There's still gas, methane, that is there, and for 10, 20 years we're still pulling out the methane. There are rules that we're supposed to do what they call post-closure care for up to 30 years after a landfill is closed. So we watch it, we monitor it. We have landfills that are all closed around and the county here, and we're still monitoring all those to see if anything's happening, and if anything does happen, we have to take tests, and we work with DHEC here at the state.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.